ensem ahodo abeto ya pono so ne updates dodo na ye de ebremo don hwe di enimi de updates dodo na ebremo na ye bo hwi ni akọ the presidency President John Dramani Mahama sisi ensem bai na ebobo eba ewo honom Christian Council omode ensema betudwa na omose sen omose National Cathedral na President Nana Addo Akufo Addo ohya se obesi a wantumi enwie no omo ehwe na omahye president se onhwe na omo eni hujuma se de be omo betimi awie sa National Cathedral na nyina edim se National Cathedral sika adinka akom empo asese amana keke ne atu ewo honom no sika akom no edoso pa anti president bai no wahwe se omo enhwehwem ama former finance minister Nansia ne nya ntie mpo se sika omutuetua nyina dana kwam ti afei ene ebehwehwem se omo asika no kodi omo hono na se fata se yetuetua se sika no eti omo ede aba ahye president enko wonhwe na National Cathedral na beboa Ghana pa ama a lot of juma ebeba ne Christopher asom the artifact itself ebe serve as tourism mpo de ama oman Ghana nti omomwa president nhwe no ne na pamfo omomwa na National Cathedral no ensama back to life no mo enye project no na omonwie ti omo de nsam we ekosia president e wona kache na omo de eto nanim ti enkotie how Christian Council omo present omo issues e to president anim na yewi ayensamra president ne response a ode ma omo ne de no so abram ti enkotie Christian Council na yemra sesie.
What should we do now? I'm talking to you as my children. If I were asked to make suggestions, I would say quietly to our government, move fast. Move diplomatically. Move wisely.
While we are aware of the prevailing economic difficulties, we believe that the cathedral's completion under a transparent, accountable, and inclusive framework would serve as a spiritual and cultural landmark for generations to come. We therefore humbly recommend Your Excellency the following three things: that government reaffirms its commitment to the project, to its continuation and completion, ensuring transparency in financial administration. 2, that a broad-based funding structure involving churches, the private sector, international partners be developed to reduce the fiscal pressure on the state. And 3, that the cathedral be positioned as a national interdenominational project that fosters unity among our people. Item number 4, the anti-graft stance of government.
Anti-Christian Council of Ghana no modi omonsem etudwa omoshe president senka onhwe nanka National Cathedral a yesha CAC no onhwe nanka omo incomplete ehu sikasem ne na administration ni bibia wo hu bia nanka onhwe na embra back said be ya yebetimi awie National Cathedral na Christopher yebetimi akosom wom yebetimi aye National Day for Fasting and Prayer scra wo ho ebe serve as stories me de adwuma bebre ene beba oman mu ama Christian Council for so de abetudwa asese President John Dramani Mahama so de abetudwa ɛkyɛ sɛ see idea bia yɛbɛhu sɛ ɛnkyɛ bia yɛbɛhu sɛ ɔbɛtake control over the National Cathedral na ɔmo ɛbɛtumi ahyɛ aseɛ na ɔmo asɛsi bio already no ɛho mpopuyɛ kakra ba ebi mu sɛ yɛntɛn ne no mfa nyɛ hospital ebi mu nso sɛ baabi esi no ankasa ɛnyɛ ne nyinaa yɛ nsɛm a wɔsɔ ɔmo hwɛ na ɔmo ɛka ho asɛm ansa na ɔmo aba back sɛ ɔmo bɛsa ɛdi National Cathedral ne ho dwuma sɛ dɛ medi kan de to dwa no so ɛho sikasɛm ɛne ɛho nsɛnsɛm bebree president ahyɛ sɛ yɛnyɛ ho forensic audit President John Dramani Mahama sanso de to dwa yɛbɛkɔ ne akɔhwɛ no response no ɔno ne nsɛm a ɔde to dwa no sɛ ɔno asɔre dan sie deɛ ɛnka ɛnyɛ Nana Akufo-Addo koraa na ɛti pɛn no because ɔno ɔhyɛ ase sɛ ɔsi asɔre dan nyɛ nnɛ oko Assemblies of God na sorry oko Ringway omo a church building plant a church project omo ye we make sure so wono kwa we gina na namu esi asori dan mako edu eno no komu a osofo baby oda osofo wo ne kitchen ni bedroom kama hall baby kama asori mako edu nti nya de obesi ama oman Ghana nyina na ontimi nye na embom ɛho nsɛm ɛdɔɔso yɛnkɔ tie president mmom wahyɛ ɔmobɔ Christian Council wahyɛ ɔmobɔ sɛ biribi atotɔ din wie a ɔmo bɛba back na National Cathedral no ɔmo awie na yɛnkɔ tie ɛho nsɛm a president ɛde to dwa a wɔhyɛ ɛyɛ National Christian Council for bɔ yɛnkɔ ne ɛsa mmara sisi.
Now the issue on the National Cathedral. The National Cathedral the Board of Trustees ordered an audit into the accounts of the National Cathedral. The audit was published, and there were some issues that bubbled out of the audit. But there are two kinds of audit. There's a normal audit that you yourself choose your auditor and ask him to come and audit you. And then he audits and presents the report to you. There's that kind of auditor. Then there's the auditor who is asked to come and do a forensic audit. And so we got a copy of the audit that had been commissioned by the Board of Trustees. And as president, I directed that a forensic audit be conducted. We want to know what happened. Before we go forward, we must know what happened. And so we're waiting for the report of the forensic audit. Once that forensic audit has been done, then we can decide what the way forward is. I am a Christian, and I believe that building a house where we can worship God is a good thing. I was one of the chief fundraisers for my own Assemblies of God church building where I worship at Ringway Gospel Center. And I built 10 rural, we call them temples, in 10 villages for the Assemblies of God church. Of course, I solicited support from different people, and we built them. They have quarters for the pastor. He's got his bedroom, he's got his kitchen, he's got his living room, and then we have the church hall that can seat up to about 150 people. And so I do believe in building, an interdenominational place where we can worship. But it must be done in consultation with all of us. All of us must decide, how we want to do it, what the scope is, and how much it should cost. I believe that at this time and age, with all the problems we have, $400 million to build a cathedral is excessive. I know Nigeria have built an ecumenical center, and I've been there. It's a decent, beautiful place, and they built it for $40 million. And so maybe some of the things are excessive, Let's find somewhere, all of us, on National Day of Thanksgiving and Worship, we can all go there and worship God and thank Him for what He has done for us. And so when that forensic audit is over, our intention is to have a broad-based consultation with the Christian community to see how we can build a place that is decent for us to worship. But apart from that, make it a center where people can come and, look at its architecture and all that, and find that Christ, has a place in our hearts, in our nation. And so when the time comes, we'll do that consultation, and we'll decide together how we want to go forward.
President John Dramani Mahama didn't some etuja about National Cathedral. See ebe back na ya ba besi na NDC fo ankasa ebi mo start kasa ebi mo eni nje ho. Even how President John Dramani Mahama didn't some tuja about National Cathedral no ebi mo eni enje ho a lot of critics about within the NDC party na ankasa ebi mo aba kasa omo eche said no. This is a project Ghanaians rejected. And Tisoma reject here. Christian Council for nyomo na mobabe nunu eye president mobe dada no na wasa ko back say ekwa see eye National Cathedral no na enye ade a eye Ghana for do na ani eje ho enti eno ena mo mugina so a omoto abade ti a New Patriotic Party enti e mo enko the president enya ma hu say president eye Christoni mapanti omobe ya na say obeka asem bi say National Cathedral on to aso the head president mega so ye beto aso ne ade no mawoni maye no yodium sa na president asako hyase no akoto aso enti enko ne enkotie ye Julius Kwame Anthony ono ye government spokesperson ye NDC ni nsema odi tudwa kire se Ghanaians rejected the National Cathedral. It should remain so. President John Dramani Mahama eni kwan se odi ne sasa akoka bi enko ne enkotie Kwame Anthony ni ensamra sisi.
I think the video was circulating for all of us to see. I do not think that, fair-minded people who have some modicum of respect for the suffering youth of this country, who returned an overwhelming rejection of the New Patriotic Party, its policies, including the National Cathedral, should be advocating that we continue this project which the people of Ghana rejected. The National Cathedral was on the ballot. The people rejected it. Do we not, as leadership of institutions as important as the council, the Christian Council, have any modicum of respect for the Ghanaian citizens, the individuals who queued on January 7 and said we have rejected this? You know that the National Cathedral was on the ballot. It was an important conversation that led into the 2024 election. It has been rejected. Let it come to an end. I have heard the president's position on the matter that he thinks that $450 million is too much of such a project. He cited examples of similar projects that cost only $40 million. That's in Nigeria and other countries. That's 40% of what was sunk in a hole in a swimming pool. You know, I do not know whether the president intends to take this advice. But one thing I know for certain is that the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, is a person who has come to understand how to read the mood of this country and act accordingly. And if he is going to be consistent with that, I would, with all respect to him as the boss of my bosses, suggest that he keeps that observation and not allow the Christian Council to sway him to undertake this. The people of Ghana will not forgive us.
Julius, how about this side? And I've seen people go on that tangent on social media following this meeting. At this point, we have already committed funds into the project. That money, I'm not too sure we're going to get back from anywhere. So if they say they want to go ahead, okay, maybe this is where we are. If you want to continue. But we are not going to sink a peswa in addition to what we have already spent. How about that?
But initially, the Christian Council also and the associates of the Christian Council who had a posture that they were going to raise funds and complete this project on their own. It appears that they have failed. If you look at the audit report that was presented on National Cathedral, I had the privilege of reading that firsthand. You would even see clear infractions, mobile money transactions that could not be accounted for. They have demonstrated that at their level, they are not even able to manage the resources that the people of Ghana, out of their benevolence and charity, would be given to them to undertake this project. Another consideration you have to make is that this is a state land. How it should be used, the fact that that place was chosen in the first place is questionable. I think that the way forward for that place, how it should be used, should be by general consensus of the Ghanaian people. And there is an overwhelming call that persons who have been involved in this illegality, because spendings that went on there, a lot of them were illegal, unapproved by Parliament. I think that what the Christian Council should be doing is joining the calls for these recoveries and the prosecution of persons who have been involved in these activities. As for the continuation of this project, I am not willing.
At their cost, not at our cost.
I'm saying that they have not proven to be capable hands in doing this. If they were, why was President Akuffo illegally spending from the contingency vote through his cousin Cọntrọl? Why did that happen? So I think instead of leaving this prime state land at the hands of persons who have clearly demonstrated so far that they are incapable of, getting this adventure of theirs to a conclusion, we should be rethinking as a people how we want to put that very prime national resource into use. This national cathedral conversation should be disbanded as quickly as possible. I do not think that it serves the national interest. The people of Ghana do not need a national cathedral. It is not a need. We don't need it. It doesn't add any value to us as a people. We don't need it.
Let me get the thoughts on Doctor on this. Doc, we started the conversation this morning, and there are very interesting views coming through. Again, I want to start with you on the tangents that Julius left off. $450 million has already gone into this project, we are told. This is what we see. At least the last time I went there,
All right, so President John Dramani Mahama Akasa, and there has been some critics coming from the government spokesperson, and also the Nensamababe Tuja, what say, yes, the good people of Ghana, Makasa, Intinya, was a president, Ekahwasem Krabu, na you move on as a nation. Let's decide on our plot, no, is a government property, and here, this a plot in the bay. There has been an external and then an internal audit. Internal audit, Board of Trustees, Nagasana, and an external audit no and a President John Dramani Mahama say omonya sa audit ni wie na yehu niema ekomu for $450 million no ne yenhwe say yebeto aso anasa yento aso anti president akasa. Moving on, ye call a 32-year-old Harriet Amuzu viral video bi ba ya na ne kunu sebe wa run hu nyina na obo no ode emma ne ade ebo na obi ekotwaye ade beto social media be ye nsem asese de gender ministry ene Ghana Police Service o maso asem no na ye de updates bremo John Odate Lamte physically or abuse ye ne ema ye nyina ye hu bi no sese an ye no. First of all, ye na ba be kasa enti ye wora ko tie ne ye no how ohun ni say onukunu no edada no na ordinary free baby owo ede ne back o kire ne verbally o ka kire ne say ordinary ba ne de obeso o je ne nkwa efri ne ntem because me no wote we free me nchen ne ade a lot of things na ma me na kasa ma me na kasa aba be kanti ye nko tie ye Harriet Amuzu Ninsemo a ode etu dwa her audio with any kunu Odate Lamte ne samra sisi.
They know to me poor me no. Me we yes Saturday me crown of friend is like Cathedral. So I want to share me see mu 3 o'clock me be do of anko ba ha 8 to 9. E du fi ankole na wo mu di agora me eja. Say kwale mu yare na say they know to me poor me no. Me we yes Saturday me crown of friend is like Cathedral. So I want to share me see mu 3 o'clock me be do of anko ba ha 8 to 9. Du fi ankole na wo mu di agora me eja. Say kwale mu yare na say kwala na yare na utwa me ntro. Sana drono sebi e be ma solo so pe sto ne meda na me say obi a me nu mi ni entim atete e ko 5 months dey mempri se anu ntina da me ma me ba ya dia o kina no pa me ko ade chi na me so akwala ni mu a si jan kwala no na me say be je dey na wo ye ade oni me wa asem wa se hwe trap na me settle na me say trap system bi se me jimi so we kura na se na we jan kwala no na me frɛ wa na nesi na me si jimi ese sai na se me ni uni ho obu mi am dwan be se kura se wa pa me twa me se me mba enti travel se sai me ba be ku sa tam no wa frɛ ni ba Daniel so on fa nkola ne nko na me fa nkola ne nko onim se me de nkola ne ko a e fa dwane akọ ti Daniel na di nkola ni paper no lock ye wo Chinese do se lock no lock ye sa tade na se me no se on e to ma me tararara ni ke se me o se no to ma me tarara aheni ase me no to e no atiti ni na afi me gina o ni ke o holo e wono ko fast take won prayer na mu di pra thousands no se bi wono ma enye dua dade no ko fire o di bobo me na mi tetiem blessing to drop now something is so bad be come see me ku en go baby I will push for wine mu hu fi and I miss me still fa wani tu me nu at once so buku to no de am o stamp me ne me mensa be hwa won me ne a o de bobo me ne we ne kwan nti ekwan wi ye no so okohwehwe ade foforo aba e wo ketche ho na okofa sekan o so mensa se so be twa mensa ne fu so be di me dem ti me so Iboni, Namena, me pekona kuma betoni ya mi jami kakana mako mi yepi, suya papa we don't just that. It opena, laba kuya veno keteku, eno bobo ni mano sibledi mpacho biem, no be gate to be gate na brand be Jessica, no kache brand so mpie. Osa twa so no kofa ne ba ne fa na Abigail, kofa ne sleeper. The bobo me ninka ze mu Cοntrοl ni wo TV anim me ninka sakeke me ne oba mi nku be ma me na awani masida no de bobo me fi no wiki mi joint be de bajo be ku me stop yes meku onya wushi ya mi si meku.
She tells me this is not the first time that her estranged husband has abused her. Despite several pleas and reports to the Ghana Police Service, Harriet says nothing was done about it, despite carrying evidence.
I want to cook kitchen, no farm, no, just what we do. Dinner could do, no, me no die soon to up. I want to could do, dear, me but twice. That day, say, see me who I got that in a second, me, Jamie, man, Obama, Obo ne kari di mako me kebi bia mi Cοntrọl to me ba papa su de bia rata enzi wana mi yede de ni mampe ni fofi obi eni onu obeje me.
Despite several pleas and reports to the Ghana Police Service, Harriet says nothing was done about it, despite carrying evidence.
Oh my God, that's no. Some feel of our Gobaria police station, my call some feel
4 times. 4 times for a Tesano. Of Uncle de to me kind. So at some place in our coin, say, by police for 9 days, and cash.
Okay, and see that is a John Odatilamte. John the Nimsenke the president na menim John we there on Oboni here say no it is very sad because 32 years 32 year old 32 years na lady na deal and so o share the way what say one what na manasha o be say we dey 40 years kra 32 years young lady onyini nru bebia na Sarah Husemwe eto no ewo ehonom sa no na Ghana police omo the update about yin na nim sese o mache abrantie no ache ni nua ba ni nua bema ba ko aka ho a sese the omo allegedly omo ya accomplices to this violence cause so Ghana police omo the release about ye be call na ya kan amamo on your screens as you can see over there. Also, this is Ghana Police Service Criminal Investigation Department, Post Office Box 505, 19th November. And the update say update on arrest of suspect in viral domestic violence video. The magistrate court at the Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit (DOVSU) of the Ghana Police Service has remanded accused persons John Odatilamte alias Ni Ejeyi and 2 others into police custody. Into police custody. The accused, who was captured in a viral video physically assaulting a woman believed to be his wife, has been charged with physical assault contrary to sections 1B I and 32 of the Domestic Violence Act 2007 Act 732. In this year, they have been remanded. Yedi omo asa ko remanda. Yechi omo no omo edoma ko remand. I heard the next court hearing omo di omo ebeko. No ena ebema yehu. This year 7 no baby akusin. This year update ne say they are still in police custody. John Odatilamte no and 2 others they are still in police custody. The 2 others, Louis Odatilamte and Grace Kushi Lamte, have also been charged with conspiracy to commit a crime, to which threats of harm Contrary to sections 23(1) and 74 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act 1960, Act 29, after they attempted attacking a female tenant they suspected of recording and circulating the viral video. And also ena ewo ho no omo emienu no after say video ne ba bonten no omo kira omo hi say tenant ne timi record this video na or de ba bonten sa enti omo so se nka omo beko na omo de omo za akokeka tenant ne so ewo ho eno ena gina so a ma police omo so eche ono omo mienu so de eka ho. Or say all three have been remanded into police custody to reappear before the court on 3rd November 2025. Until 3rd November 2025, and on Bessa call back. And this is our police for Kukumube, say, now watch me and son. I did any media or more about police for Kukuma 3rd December. Now they will reappear before the court. Meanwhile, the Ghana Police Service would like to once again urge the victim or anyone with credible information on her whereabouts to contact the nearest police station. Na time or more we no omo twan say omo beje eye oba no so ano asem video ekohoye no was me fan say interview bi a on some media personalities bi but as to say omo beje na no asem ankasa wo police station no eno enya maaye nti omo hwe say omo ebehia Harriet Amuzu ankasa no de ne audio anasa nsem a ato no or the ebeto a police for enim ewo ho. So we assure the public that all information provided will be treated with utmost confidentiality. And wow, and one same be out the Bekakoma police for no, or making sure say there will be some level of confidentiality. And Massa Obeka cancer net and I could board in say, and I'll buy our Becansa seminal into no and a police or more edit updates our brains. It's a CID. Yes, signed by Chief Inspector Bridget Babanawo, Public Relations Officer, Criminal CID Department, and now mode and some about 2 just say, wow, about na and some yenya details dimupano, wono yemfa won some 2 drama will be and who's a one out by and only confidentiality na or more eka ho asem no nti ebebo Ghana Police for abaso na yetu for otia wariase e ho nsem no hwe ne nkoyi a dwane ntam asan wo because unya free mu a asem foforo nipa no bia de ne bekwa kotum obekwa kodem kakra bi no aba and as wa makra onu de oti ase just o wa fi ase ba wo de wa hwere won kwa wo babaka enyeyi nti oti aware ase relationship enkoye especially o ma jealous for mom ye jealous no you may mistaking that for love but ebe wi akire no na wa hwere won kwa wo ho nti wo bibi samu a na wa to hu fontem wo ho nom. Yes, this is the update I did Emma Mo free Ghana Police Service on John Odate Lamte on a Harriet Amuzu domestic violence issue akoso no and some I don't know yet twaso Eddie Amamo me who's a comments be aba if you are with us you can also bring your comments and repel me be kind Eddie Amamo. Sisi aye call Alan Kwadwo Trematene party ni mu MPP for the Nsema ba betudwa ohene be siedu on Wontumi media or the Nsema ba betudwa. In himself, Alan for President, Movement for Change. And omoye necessary o matene no e UP plus United Party o ma abababete. Na MPP omo de ensema babetudwa through ohene besi edu on Wontumi media. O de ensema betudwa say UP na mo hu ne say wo ho sa no. Enya Alan Chematene teye. That is the first allegations or dey ba. O say nya Alan Chematene teye o ma hye that te Edi amano se on make kanema mbom ewo MPP mu o enye party e atese e de ba be wini power na amanfo na hye kire a o maye no yodio ma akote party ne de amano master tie yi executives ni ade a omoji omo license I think 3rd October no omoji omo license October no mu omoji na so launch yes our party no ohene be se edu se utre de organize NDC for na share kire omo tese our party ne de ma Alan Kwadwo Trematin ti yanko tie ohene be se edu ne nsem ode tudwa about Alan Kwadwo Trematin ni party UP plus awate a ode eba be ginem na ono so ade akopre omampanyi akonwa ne bi no yanko tie ohene be se edu ne mra sese
Alan Chematin United Party na wati no. Men people for enhu ne say UFP. and then now one party ben account you have to be no motive film no odi keni jataba party ma omu hu ne saakeke it is not about him alanche matin say ono no atene party anken ha me banyo na ate party no yate ama no
yo
party no
ne de na kotoa no
yate e de ama no
the appointment no no
yo
intino ma party MPP form fan saakeke say one of the breakaway parties there visitant no mukotete here and survive no there be and it is not to win elections
mafia
it is not to win elections na the seed of tribal and ethnic politics no eho pan umbe befini yi
tutu jagu
eho enu mbe befini yi pa makache mo se me din komusia ma be kache mo why remember other reasons why Polafoko want to join the national chairmanship race
in the waka
and then a candidate who is that reserve type our more prepared no will start getting into the media space. Near Cheska man sent you for him to bow a cray as him.
Near broom.
Controversies a beminent attention. Try them, then share them coachino. Go and do this, go and say this.
Hey.
And people are some bonopo.
Hey.
And there is a moment deep party so fast. So,
no chicherepo. Shut them.
But why are they
Dr. Bamia? I don't know.
But why they are not dreaming?
People don't want to see him succeed. Just that too.
Why you be there?
In the amount for a tiny so or tiny di ama a deep part ni bone kra won fa ho
nanti na mase
onabo ma de ba kwa na me sadwen say enti we num nyina NPP be fam awie ama sa ankofo no ade omu din abe preposition ama omo ma no omo na no ana
awase okasa
omu fa me prank na omu se ebi mi adonkofo no mo ya de hye ebe prama omu
wadidi awie ena odi abro ebe a odi din asaba
now to ABC yankwana
the party needs tough leaders enye buku sem
mungamu
enye long service sem
me ba ya che obada ben
e bia makame se the 2028 ni MPP needs a party that is ready. Na party ni mu be she. After presidential primaries no. One year mo say presidential primaries na dey confusion baba. Anya no.
Gidi. Butu.
Leadership of the party no. From constituency region national no. Party mu be yes.
Kumo.
Because amount for entrenched interests womo dey ban. They will do anything to be part of the decision making process.
Enti ensem de oheneba esiedu de bi atodwa paa wo hono maka akofa eye Polafoko de enti a opeso sa be ginam na ye to abama no as party chairman eden ensem bebre ababa betodwa na ne kasamu and also to aso de nsem to dwa ekire se there are some machinations bi a say omo start ehye the ababetia MPP party na ankasa they want to weaken the party and no ehon hye bi free Nigeria mpo eba ama eno anso ombeso mugina so esanso ede egu wuntumi media no ema eno so eyeye wo ho because omo hu sese omo no ene kasa pa ede ma MPP party no esanso kasa ma Dr. Mahmoud Baumia enti there are some plots bi amanfo plan say yemfa sika whooping $400 million every Nigeria and famra Ghana has say ani nyina ne say omo de be hyehyɛ na omo plan ya plot say be party ne beti aka ho say kwan bi on befa so omo so be media stations to counter ni nyina plot and plans na say plans hyehyɛ nkofo bi start plan ya omo de sika $400 million every Nigeria eba say be omo betimi de aba no omo de aba weekend MPP New Patriotic Party no masanso de weekend wuntumi media no yenko tie ne ehwe sika no ehefa na free ban na hwan mu na hye kire omo de se sika no eba omo person de be weekend MPP party no yenko ne yensanko tie ohene be sedu na yensamra sisi
Okay, I see.
But $400 million being Komobi from Nigeria.
Okay, I see.
But $400 million being Komobi from Nigeria.
$400 million.
Yes. $400 million. Which will be spent on the NPP. $400 million.
Sure.
Maybe says can free ban. $1 billion came from there.
Against the NPP.
To work against the NPP in the 2024 elections.
Yo.
And Tinanya said the opposition seemingly was spending more than the certain government.
Hi.
And yes, you try to kakana yes you spend no. The man call for maybe some so dia kwedi.
Wa jeno atena so. Onko che. No dey ashane dem. Wafa.
Into the movie in their presidential premise movie you. Me say internal elections no. Constituency, region, national. Ha. Mo betensem. Mo bette sounds.
Pepa titra.
Groups are yebe for me on tribal ethnic lines. I know you.
I know you. I did you to pa.
I know you.
I know you.
Badoye.
And I do you hoda.
Yes.
Eh?
Inshallah.
Ti mommy unkwai.
Na adubu ahim position no near friend say.
Oh, wa na unya call. You. Wo fuku. Na unya call. For a job offer. Be careful.
Hey. Hey.
Who was your poach you?
There's three capital letters.
Who was your poach you? You forgot an American. Who was an American?
Bravo,
Ebiaba bebre.
When you won't go.
Ebiaba bebre.
Oh, what on your call? Yeah, poach you. And radio. And why you name say, Omu pro MPP or pro NDC.
Dabi.
Baby, I want you to okwa hodi assembly any who.
Sikano so nyam kwara sikani ebeka.
It could even be a new radio station. All radio station new management take over as a sanity. About kakra. It is money that will entice you. Easy mami o.
Your friend Sam Kwai.
Nancy pa because Like you ba ku mienu bi ameye.
Enti eno na ode etudwa sesese ide ubehwemu te hwa wo ye yenim se wo de wo kasama MPP pa wo hwa na ya to nsa afrew wanya adwuma wo sika no so nye nkura sika na che se wo hwe se wo betimi aso che na wakọ a onim se ho de ho din a kire din wo kọ ho a din nya afi na kokasama we na kokasama we de me obewi achi no na afi de ye tene na okasa nsem ani kwasa wo kanyina na wo ka wo ho enti ohene ba se edu de nsem bebre atudwa a kire se idea there are a lot of plots and plans are able but just to weaken the new patriotic party and then they want to media in general enti ehun sem na yede ama mono ye toaso na yede ensem no abremo ye ko Anas Aremia Anas yes the investigative journalist nsem ababa betodwa yenim se yete ne nka che kakra but sisi ne hun sem ababa betodwa ene sen Anas a winning court case asase hun sem bia ada ho be 9 years ni no Anas we need our court case no enti eno na this update way the abana yes say Anas somewhere 2005 and customarily or akwa land bi ewo Chado ewo Dadikotopon East eho na Anas Aremia enya sa eye asasi na oni one eye Adolf Tete Ejei One no enya ho twema mentwe Adolf Senedia Anas Aremia also Senedia na a court enti a court no we Supreme Court nipa omotena so no na omo abu asem no de ama Anas Aremia nipa enum omu nyina eruli 5-0 against Adolf Tete J land issue no so enti said me kan in 2005 and customarily ne kana sa na bia ahemfo na hwe so wadwuma wo bonti yemfa asasi emfa emmaw enti eno na onya asase no enti over 9 years omatwe asem na atwe after so in 2005 no yes so when ma menko yesu bibi ne ade na eba tete Adolf Tete ba yes asase na nyene de ono na twen ya sisi de reports are eba indicate say sisi omaje e de ama Anas Aremia Anas na the former case no first of all no de call Accra High Court de call Accra High Court and omo plead ema High Court and some bebre and a copy or Supreme Court and that was screen this no CDR Africa investigative journalist Anas Aremia Anas has won a landmark Supreme Court case which overturned previous Accra High Court and Court of Appeal decisions. The Supreme Court confirmed not just say them dika kind nobody can call Accra High Court and Court of Appeal so etna asem so and as I see a copy mu e was Supreme Court Supreme Court ho na asem ni di for 9 years as I see idea Supreme Court over 10 year High Court and the Court of Appeal or more ruling and that's some decision on the by first no or say the Supreme Court confirmed that Anas legally owns his 2-acre Chado land in the east Dadikotopon municipality, ending a 9-year legal battle with Adolf Tete J, who has sought to take the land and claim damages. This ruling finally gives Anas full legal ownership of the property. Enti eno ehon sem ne de mamono enti Supreme Court no omo e de abetu ya say Anas legally he owns the 2-acre land no ewo Chado ewo ehonom enti yes eno ho sem ne de mamo say 9 years na omo akọ ho asema omo aka ho asema ewo honom. The Supreme Court in a decisive decision ruled that Anas's 2005 customary land grant is valid and superior. The respondent's 2015 registered title is void, perverse and cancelled. 2015 Adolf Tete Ejei ekoya oko register isenka asasene ye ne dia no na Supreme Court eno so omo overturn say enimu say 2015 registration okoye no it is void and it is also cancelled on metwam e free honum. The Supreme Court justices upheld that Anas's 2005 customary land grant was valid, lawful and supported by overwhelming evidence. In the evidence wo ho e kire say Anas land na yɛde ma no no kre sɛ ɛyɛ ɔno akasa ne dia ɛwɔ hɔ no ma tse sie die anas etumi ɛwini ɛyɛ case no ɛwɔ ɛhɔ no mo yɛde update ɛde ɛbrɛmo enti anas aremia anas is in the news again by this time ɛnyɛ investigation ɔkɔyɛ this time na saase ho nsɛm ɛna watumi akɔkɔ ta sie de wakɔ wini ɛwɔ ɛhɔ no nti yɛse yɛhwɛ ebia na enche bia anas be release ɛyɛ court anase asase ho nsɛm ɔmo a yɛtɔn asase ne atɔn baako mienu yɛtɔn ma nipa baako ne atɔn ma nipa mienu ɛwɔ hɔ no yɛhwɛ sɛ within 9 years release bɛyi na ɛyɛ anas betimi de abrɛ yɛn on ɛyɛ asase ho nsɛm nti ɛno ne ɛho nsɛm a yɛde ɛbrɛ mo yɛtoa so a ne yɛkɔ ɛyɛ denkyira oboase ɛwɔ ɛhɔ no na denkyira oboase sisi a sɛmbɛn ɛna ɛkɔ so ɛwɔ ɛhɔ no yɛnyina enim sɛ Major Maxwell Mahama efiri mu yayaya that was somewhere around 2017 there and Major Maxwell Mahama eko free mu ɛwɔ denkyira oboase ɛma ɔmo di ne mpabro ekunu yayaya yɛnkae abusua yaw ɛyare ho sɛm a esi yes asɛm wei we obi a woda dwene ho a wonte ase sɛ enti nka mu de munyina na muntie nipa na no asɛm once mpo ne nhwɛ sɛ nipa no sɛ yɛ no krɛ sɛ wɔyɛ nipa bɔne ni ana so onye nipa bɔne ni so awerɛho sɛm ɛbaeɛ na ɔmo ayi no afiri atasefo asase so na no ɛna akɔ court over so many years ɛyɛ kɔnebra na assemblyman William Ba saa time ɔno na ɛyɛ assemblyman ɛwɔ hɔ no ma ɛkɔba sɛ yɛsi assemblyman ɛyɛ sɛ yɛakye obi o mu nyina momra ne yɛnkɔ na yɛnkɔbo no ɔmo ɛkɔdi ne mpabro ɛde bo na allegedly ɔmo sɛ ɛyɛ assemblyman ɛna ɛhyɛ nipa n'akyi ɛma ɔmo kɔdi ɛyɛ saa bɔne no ɛma somewhere years back ɔmo ɛma yɛ sentence assemblyman sɛ yɛde ne kɔ life imprisonment ɛwɔ ɛhɔ nom na sisi ade asɛm a ɛba no ɛno ɛna ɛwɔ screen is no say Court of Appeal frees assemblyman in Major Maxwell Mahama case. Enti Court of Appeal they freeze assemblyman in Major Mahama murder case. Enti ɛno ɛho ensɛm ɛna ɛwɔ hɔ enti ɛkan a say a former assembly member at denkyira oboase in the Central Region William Ba, who was sentenced to life imprisonment on the charge of abetting the murder of Major Maxwell Adam Mahama, has been freed by the Court of Appeal. In the Court of Appeal, or more free abranti. Or in a unanimous judgment today, 20th November, the 3-member panel of the second highest court of the land that the trial held that the trial judge, Justice Mariama Owusu, then Justice of the Supreme Court, sitting with additional responsibility as a High Court judge, miscredited the jury to arrive at a guilty verdict for the assemblyman. The midsection of the High Court judge was grave. The jury would not have returned a verdict of guilt if they had been properly directed, the court held. And see idea na I say what's na assembly so no assemblyman. Specifically, the court held that the court erred when it relied on the cautioned statements of 2 of the accused persons incriminating the assemblyman. Nipa mienu bi na nkomo ya akoyi omo afrim ti se chama wontumi de yi se the manager no koyi ni ho afrim a okodi adanse atia chama wontumi saa na si ya ekofo mienu bi na nkomo kodi adanse atia assemblyman. And no, see previously in the court to tie edi eno adwuma eno na kire say assemblyman no na share amanfo kutupa ma omokodi sa mpabro no ma ye hwere sojani abrantie kama enti eno na sisi court ne tena ase bi ohun say ensansam na omutie no it was a mistake na omo dey aid ewo eho no munti ama sisi ede omo ede agina so ede agai Assemblyman William Ba. The court was of the view that the caution statement of an accused person which implicated another accused person should be made in the presence of the person being implicated, adding that the caution statement could only be used against accused person making the statement and not co-accused. And say obi eba no bedi adanse etia obi a ewo se nipa no ewo honom na nye se nipa ni honom abu asem na gu na chi enti eno asem ba ko a omo ejina so edi ejai William Ba. So the judge was bound to disregard the incriminating statements when directing the jury, the court said. In addition to this, the court held that the statements of 2 of the accused persons, which the court relied on, were full of inconsistencies and suspicions. The appellant was represented by George Bernard Shaw. Etieno ehon sem ene yede abram no say sem na omugina mutie sem no mutie mu ye no. There were a lot of inconsistencies as some na say nsisi so as om di free ha no di akoso ha. Eno ene yede ejina so sentence William Ban assemblyman life imprisonment ewo ho. Sisi ede court chere se nsem no enyina so bia nse da nim wo ho saa enti na wo se omujai assemblyman ema no eko enti sisi ede William Ban na Major Maxwell Mahama ne nsemu ye ni free ho no sisi ede assemblyman ono no de sisi ye jai no na mo maka de omo da so giremu a omo nsem eguso a ye di enti no update a free Major Maxwell Mahama ho eba dencho oboase William Ban is now a freed assemblyman sisi ade mso betia to aso na wakwa kodi ni juma bi die bi na odi previously ni a sentence ya sentence on life imprisonment ewo ho and sisi ade say ne ho atono a ye be wakwa video a na ye jai no e free court ho no ye jai no how a opie free ho no ne how a omo amanfo esihia no ebo ni shire ni ade yenko ne ko sa video no na ye wi a ya ba beto aso de amama eti eto aso de amamo video ya ohwe esese yi team akoso asewa ena odobroni ne papa ene ne wofa omukopie mu Kumasi High Court omukopie mu na ye koka omo asem no e wo court no omo etugu papa yi odobroni ne papa ene ne wofa so omo etiatia mu gu omo so se den ena mo hwe mo ba na kotena ware ase so many years, over 15 years ote ho no ote aware ase akotena obi nchen se de omaware na omutimi gina so wo mamu ensia wo sesen na papa ye wofa osan so enfa so odobroni ne papa ne wofa mo hwe ya ma mo de hye no kodi ba bi sa for so many years na mo ntimi anka ho hwe na asema ba musa so ade akire ade na first pa no mo ani akire ankohwe awaresem no amoma anka ne ye na ne ya sebe daddy lumba every mu na mudi court asem achi a mo ba be pekuna aye nti we na team akoso asewa omo edigu papa ne so wo ho no ma ensam bebre na course wo ho a odi nkan ekohwe sa video no na the next update wo ho a see after court hearing and said team akoso asewa any team odobroni and team legal wife any team said omo kind of side chick omo edibom enye we nya ntokwa pepe na mom ensam omo kan wo ho no Kumasi de ensam omo kan wo ho no a lot of people were na omo ntiase omo si asem yi mo de akire kakra ya munya na busuafo nka omo asem na team ho ahwan na team ho ahwan ni nyina nka mungu no because the course wo ho no at a point kwa na police and also mubem enti yankone how the whole thing was like after the court hearing Kumasi High Court team odobroni any team akosia sewa team legal wife team side check come the boma verbally na
Hey,
Yes, enti we no akrobeto obeka say we. Enti eno na akohwe na legal wife, team legal wife, any team side chick. Omo e de boss so pa ma edrumre bi na o say a police for because on say ho no omo ben central high court no ben central police na o say ye kra police for omo begum and san na niema etimi calm down. Enti yanko he when the police omo ba ya afa de ho no em say hodry kakra enti yanko he the police presence e high court wo after set team akosia say one team odobro ni omo clash here yanko he the police presence ni samra sisi.
What does it?
Pachan.
You're in the court of law. What does it?
Pachan.
You're in the court of law. You're in the court of law. And Doris, we need the entire. We need the number. We need the number. The sensible ones need it.
Aye.
Okay, so that was the police presence at High Court. So if you are still with us, I've seen a lot of messages. Amodiaba, stick with us. You be kind of mamo. And that was the police presence at High Court. Kumase. A team no me no amodi ebomu. And it was a police ebaho. And yes, I nenka di besino because if you are no na call on sa. And you know was a police for baho mobile also. You say why din kama niema etimi etwas wo ho. Na amanfo abekasa. A lot of stars akasa fan somewhere ekoso ho ebi mu de o madwen kire aba ne ade na yenyina enim kofinti de nsem aba betudwa na sam ne sen o say enke be ya nko besre because said the Dad Lumba ye legend e wo Ghana ha say no komo besre say abusua mo nkam humom said be ya mo betimi ama the legend no a befitting barrier because ne ma ekoso we bu afu we kasa ene ekọ na ye hwe de ekoso sisi Nina entwa ye for a year Daddy Lumba wanya ne be kono enti on your sre nkomo humom ene ensem ahodo a ye kofinti ye nyina enim kofinti or they etudwa kofinti musician ensem atudwa about a year family ni ensem ayekoso ne yenko na yenko tie kofinti ne ensam rasisi ye wi a ebe ko kum chacha ho wa drop a bombshell yenko ne rasisi
Daddy ye nipa bia Daddy fi me nipa bebre nso ato nipa bebre nso akọ munchi but still na utumu say Daddy ho mpampan da so ginem minim say meme from meme
Dabi eyobia because your mama Konedu Ajima Rollins you free me onye nipa keto Ghana how but I say still na no Lumba left and right sir
yeah you know Daddy ye de ye ka say na ekura nwumre ye frefre kura mpo a say ye de nwumre na ye de hyeso na ya eho bebo he but na America ne say ebusuafo nhwe na won tototo ne yie na at least emfa ne da no enna ho na ye nhwere bibia ntumi nye pepepe because enwuma a oto nyina no tie enwuma o boy makra mo na papa ne kan sem bibire wo mu kan sem bibire na brabo mu nsem nyina ase ono akasa no sebe oye prophet ti ohun ni ebesi no ni ebeba nyina ti mesre ni pa se ne ebusuafo se omo nhwe na se no ka so mpese na chibe basa no ke nhwe ne ntoto ne nyina kama
e de na wo mpe wo de ekoso nyina wo Daddy Lumba and sense
dano metiasembi na matetia bebre land kra me correct one musician me da obehu kra me brass amini
okay
na ye wo UK I think say me yes good me daddy lumba samini I think say ye last year concert ye bo yeah that platform no so na Shatawale ni medical mu nyina buy you know yeah ye bought that show no before I be kra me samini na one apartment eti indi ngoma no ka se Kofi na mamu mu ha na ti see slow mu kakra o na me say that no so me say yes daddy wife say wa sana wati was say it is alleged sana okasu ni but it is alleged say so no poison daddy na me say dabi antisa o no chire bi mu e wo dey say obem papa no because wakakra say me obedu Ghana fa me brefi nti na me say no kra dey ba akopɛ daddy ho Tantra Hills na me no tene top o ukɔ no ho a ne fie na ben captain smart opposite owo top bi o ha o ta tena ho gem from anti all the time ho na me tire na tron ni edi nkomo e na o ka se Kofi o papa de bia na manfo ka se me ka wo nyum yenti obi am no wo mo ntima se wo mo fo se me se ya poison me na ye me yere se wa na poison debi na eye me nan fufuo bi e na poison me that's what he told me also ono mo call party nti saade na odi to me fo kwase mami nyi bi da se me ko baabi na me gya me nsa esiwo yes also the nan fufuo bi to e Ghana ha ya o ti o sorry ko ba no se na obi the poison atu it's your friend me cry or friend odobroni say odobra asema me ken so you me witness na that day no me bedu fie no me fia moja ti Kofi say papa je me na me den kra na anka bia na me free that's what he said nti ono aka asem na osan friend odobroni man be confirm say Kofi no say Kofi na papa kan ye no kra
na say odobroni kra nim say
yes
poison asem no
party you so na mfo bi tenase and will be poison no o ka kire me straight
it has nothing to do with Akosua say wa
debi me say na o ka kire me e na lumba tai ade wo mami hu because oyare ne surgery kra wo e wo focus omkwe no focus pantan echi o o ma me ba ho e ko hwe no that time na menim say other musicians because ma me nya ho kwan o ma me akwanya no ma be ko a odam paso no yi na chi mark na kra de kire me se me hwe na obi ke bibia menya bia e den aka kire no
they said the name amanfo speculate
yes.
na wanya no kra na wo
of course the focus on no ka chemse ko official ohu yare no na ya ye me see ti na no me di nkoma no ye den na me Kofi nti no papa ne nipa bi a o ka bi kire me nso a me say because wa frɛ obi wa frɛ odobroni ama na ba akɔ se onsi sa asem no so na say I mean obi antumi ga say bia na ntra na say nti no kro ka kire me
tama na oben no na odi Akosua se wa ho nkomo kire o
debi on kan wa se moda lumba ye nipa bia ne nkomo bi kra wo ne wundi ana me wuma na kra na me hu ne da eye na me hia no bra o mote ho no na me ko cha ba matine din imze me wi a me pe lumba anyom nti bia no na nyum bia so metati se o ye den boni din ka se mo ne nyum nti no ba na me mfa ma ni kra se hu ne da nti sa se me de ade bia me o ka kire me se de na mfufu bi
ntina so omu a omu unse ye nyina yete se lumba won chini bi dada nchini nti na I mean the speculation was say ye de mpentwa na afra nchini no nti ya na omo de nchini no agu na dua nim nti nchini no na ase ni yemu no manyina na ma lumba I mean the latter days no obeyare ya fofi anto ata de afri mu sa sem ni nyina ya te wabonte
sa sem ne de is a different idea fine but me de no catch about poison no I wo yenti obi a nyum no mo kan se ye sheda me medro se me num wa me wu no ye o se ne nan fufu bi ana ya no ne mo tena baby ti am so no time bi wo mu and will be de poison no ti mu no san frɛ odobroni say ombra no be confirm nkyerem seen it.
Okay, so that was some deep revelations at Kofinti and so at the bar, yeah. OAG Ebusianfo, someone come home, Namuntimi Mapapano, a befitting burial. Then some more catches of Papano, wabre pa, wabre, and see, and yet I feel na more sounds so baby, ye, were Timmy Wakami Bia, na Papano, and Timin Co. na onkonkoda din enti yebeko kumchacha nso so e den sama beto dwa about Daddy Lumba na busuafo ne yie ne honsem nyina ode ne sama beto dwa. But before that no Mariah Hemina na me ka say wodo comments ba e behwe ne akan ma Mariah Hemina ode ne comment aba or say how come you won't change it to a cultural center as you said and you know a National Cathedral ne honsem na o ka senka omo ensesa no ko cultural center President John Dramani Mahama ko hwe no msesa no cultural center we so ewa kakra o say Costa DP Costa or say Bawumia has done himself and Nanado and Wuntumis have brought this far. None need Nanado and the good for nothing. Yes, so association MPP no more. Okay, so also no comments no ewo honom nsisi so sa Anthony stop your what I know ewo honom we juicy in the comments. Or say God first. God recognizes a nation that recognizes him. Stop your talk and no and so juicy nsem ne modu nyanya na metimi aka wa ha enti that are some of the comments ewo ho enti before I bet to aso kumchacha den sama beto dwa Osi ono de eka ono nkoa enka Daddy Lumba yi no sisi ase atese om de 13th na enka 13th no kom de omama ni nsem kra ni bese 1 year na akoma ento ansa no makwa akoye yi ni because sisi ama for dodo na lose interest kra ewe yi ni because nsama ekokoso na we afa ha we akogina ha ni nyina emwa ma yie no se de amanfo be so mo ba ema ne yefe no ebeja Daddy Lumba kwan no ni nyina ema no enye kama eti ye kumchacha so e de nsem aba betudwa enti yenko na yenkotie ye kumchacha nsem any some a lot of revelations chen ye kofinti de ye ode ba yenko ne yenkotie kumchacha na yensa so mra sisi
unse aisa police for hwehwe wacho na wadwane akote be makamp oche ne ye easy yeso mu ntentem
eno just
asia ne se unse abusuya pani na nkasa ne dey one no I say ni din nye de e wa aguro nim ni din nye de oh sa na wo sa na eko a bi nso dwen sa se ni din no enkoyi ono de ntoto ya ba se sa na ebi kan eti se e ba bibi ti se bi esikaye eni ade na 30,000 esan ko free account mu a engrofo baby sa se nti abusu ya pani onam we ni 30,000 number 1 number 2 adena wo bia onfa eno enkoye de yeka eseso ode ye na edutama ebia abusuya ne transia na owubu akonta na ka ode aba esin se ode ne pe ananse bia wonkoyi sika no efri mo eti ya ma ade na koye bibibi o se yeka we wi a na wotwe foforo na foforo aba yeka we wi a 3 days na foforo aba eti no Eden down last 2 weeks me kan wa say ka be ya enje se bi am penifo de hihye na kodu 13 voa ka be ya me sika Lumba ka won hyemu be ya 1 year on se fridge ni be ya 1 year ebedu ho no no na koka na ade ye ni nyina no daka ekofom na to twa ba sisi ya no ye wie Genesis yaba Exodus yi ena busu ya pani esi kasama ya ba a ofre eben na se hen
odikotua eye odwan no
odikotua odwan
ena obo akonhoma
na odwan ne akonhoma no eti na ka se ska no eni ho a so ye busu ya pani se ka ye na sade ye se ko be bo akonhoma no eti ka obenya se ska no wen
sende nkebeba
ya ebe free hia ba
so ono ko ba bosia hu ni ye di ye nti wotiti free mu ni nkofo de ode common na e card ye kaye no ena e ka ba ti e ka ba busia pen gine mu na wa bank ekoyi 30,000
e ka na aba se ye aye ni nkwa wiye ye nya aye ni kura na ye bu e ka
wan fa ni pewu okoje permission efi eye ho
ene okoji permission no na ebi nso wa chile so ho ntia ase se ni nyina na ekoso commotion ekoso problem etika ba bia ke bia oso okoje besia no ka 30,000 no kora na ewo ho no ka no so betumi afa baabi na ka wo de akọ na wo de akọ ye de wo ba ye
awonfa won san kes
awonfa won san kokan sentina me kan say umu ye hwehwe wachew onso dwane ya asema kote be ma camp
ya chew dada
eti abusu ya pani no say dey why no problem enkrofo de atage no na wo hwe dey why say dey wodim rika ba ye obekasa ye say ye sister odobroni onye lumba nye ne ho ade onye ne yele ne ade no o say ekototo nkrofo tirim ama ohun say abusu ya pani no say dey wode ba no ewo mu ana wakọ a abo bi yefre na frishi aboa otumi dane na ho kalasi bi abi etubi sesa etimi de ka be ya kanya nananom na asomu akayiye no kan ko be ya afe because say kura na say nipa ba mu abu nipa bebre abamu abu olumba yiye na ho
ma abamu mu
wo so abamu mu woni wa abamu mu ye but me si nipa dodo na abamu abu o pa da won be yiye no e wo mu se nipa be ko but se ka sensem we nimu a ke domo be ko pa no me nua ba na wotwe da kora yiye di na wotwe da no won nipa na egu wonom eti sensem we any say sensem we ni de pie ni ho a ke nipa ke be ko no me se ka kuma so ke nipa nya ba bi mfa ne nan enyina ana ebiem kora no se no ewo enipa bebre tirim se yiye se ye kwa me ma me wuye no e wa chema pedwa no e na me hu se me nua no ensan we se ba bedwam nyina no wo gigi wo fie no wo gigi wo fie e be gigi wo fie
omo an support yi no
omo an support me ya meti wo ya asofu kum chacha me a e na wo se sabi wo gidi a obi a wo gidi bi a wo din so no ya na dodo na afisa sabi machine na edi tweska no ebi a wone ne deda idi ayiye ni nyina no sabi ye ja to me so e ma me ye ayiye ni nyina na nso nsanwa no no won gigi won chenchen
ya no de bag bi asem ko
etu ti mu se enipa bia na ka de wan ka ayiye no eye won awreho a won pede di asam ne ade no we no dodo wan kora nko bedwam nkonkobo ensanwa
tesro omo
because dodo na akokobo a adwen beba won tirim se abusu ya pani beba akoyi
enkola wom eyire no mu wom
eti na me ka se eyele no ne nkoda na bi ba gigi won chen ana de asese ekoso wo public na hia no munyam ema abusu ya trense etoto ne yama ne se ne yama wo nyina no yawo ne ye afri ni patirim yawo no efri ni patirim awre ho ne ye afri ni patirim lumba ba ko da bia na wotu bia aji se na sem ni ko na ko bi na afaha adan amini aba oh me kora de mabre